In 1965, Singapore was expelled, poor, and seemingly had no future. Today, it's one of the richest nations on Earth. How did this happen? How did a tiny island with no natural resources transform itself from a third-world nation into a first-world powerhouse in just one generation? This is the shocking story of Singapore's improbable rise. Our story begins long before the modern skyline. Centurious ago this island was known as Temasek, a small but strategic trading post on the ancient maritime Silk Road. Its natural deep-water harbor made it a perfect stop for ships sailing between India and China, but its early history was turbulent, marked by shifting powers and eventual decline. For centuries, it was little more than a quiet fishing village, a forgotten gem on the world map. Everything changed in 1819. A British administrator named Sir Stamford Raffles saw the island's immense potential. He established a trading post for the British East India Company, declaring it a free port. This was a masterstroke. Traders, merchants, and immigrants from China, India, and the Malay archipelago flocked to this new hub of opportunity. Singapore's population and economy exploded. It quickly became one of the most important ports in the British Empire, a vital link in their global trade network. But this era of prosperity was about to face its darkest chapter. In 1942, during World War II, the unthinkable happened. The island, once considered an impregnable British fortress, fell to the invading Imperial Japanese Army. The next 3.5 years were a period of brutal occupation, hardship, and fear. The fall of Singapore shattered the myth of British invincibility and ignited a powerful desire for self-determination among the local population. When the war ended and the British returned, things were different. The people of Singapore wanted a say in their own future. The post-war years were filled with political unrest, social tension, and a growing call for independence. Singapore achieved self-governance in 1959, and a charismatic, determined lawyer named Lee Kuan Yew became its first prime minister. In 1963, believing its future lay with its neighbors, Singapore merged with Malaya, Sarawak, and North Borneo to form the Federation of Malaysia. The hope was for strength and unity, but this union was doomed from the start. Deep political and ideological differences quickly emerged. Tensions between the federal government in Kuala Lumpur and the state government in Singapore reached a breaking point. Just 2 years later, on August 9, 1965, the unimaginable occurred. Singapore was expelled from Malaysia. Lee Kuan Yew announced the separation on television, his voice breaking with emotion. Singapore was now a fully independent nation, but it was a nation born from rejection. It was tiny, surrounded by larger, not-so-friendly neighbors. It had no natural resources, no fresh water, no industry, and a deeply divided population. It had no army to defend itself. Many international observers gave it no chance of survival. But could it really survive? This is where the miracle begins. Lee Kuan Yew and his government faced an impossible task, and they responded with a radical and ambitious plan. Their strategy was built on several key pillars. First, anti-corruption. They established a powerful anti-graft agency, ensuring a clean and efficient government that would attract foreign investment. Honesty and integrity became the bedrock of the new nation. Second, industrialization. Singapore courted multinational corporations, offering them tax incentives, political stability, and a disciplined, English-speaking workforce. They transformed swampland into massive industrial estates, building factories and creating jobs. The focus was on manufacturing, turning Singapore into a production powerhouse. Third, housing. The government launched a massive public housing program, building affordable, high-quality apartments for its citizens. This not only solved the housing crisis, but also gave people a tangible stake in the nation's success. It fostered a sense of community and national identity. Fourth, education. The government invested heavily in its people, creating a world-class education system that emphasized science, technology, and bilingualism. They knew their only resource was their people, and they were determined to make them the best in the world. Was this plan too risky? Absolutely, but they had no other choice. The results were staggering. Throughout the 1970s and 80s, Singapore's economy grew at an incredible rate. The port of Singapore became one of the busiest in the world, a critical node in global shipping. The country then pivoted towards higher value sectors. It developed a robust financial services industry, becoming the Switzerland of Asia. It embraced technology, attracting tech giants and fostering a vibrant startup ecosystem. The government's long-term vision and relentless execution paid off spectacularly. What was the secret sauce? It was a unique combination of factors: strategic geography, pragmatic and long-term governance, a relentless focus on creating a business-friendly environment, and a massive investment in its people. They turned their biggest weaknesses, a lack of resources, and a small size, into strengths, forcing them to be innovative, efficient, and open to the world. Today, Singapore stands as a gleaming testament to this incredible journey. Its skyline is a forest of futuristic skyscrapers. It's a global hub for finance, technology, and trade. It boasts one of the highest GDPs per capita in the world, a top-tier education system, and world-class healthcare. From a small fishing village to a colonial outpost, from a rejected state to a global leader, Singapore's story is one of resilience, vision, and the extraordinary power of human determination. It proves that with the right leadership and a united people, even a tiny red dot on the map can shine brightly on the world stage. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this story, like the video, subscribe to our channel, and watch our next journey through history.